And once you're on your back, just again, breathe and notice both shoulders now. Notice any sense of things becoming more spacious, right? That's the goal of our class, to keep finding more and more inner spaciousness. Slowly start to drag the heels back towards the glutes, planting both feet this time. Reach hands towards heels, push down into hands and feet to gently lift the hips, and then release one vertebra at a time, bringing as much awareness to the sensation of the back touching the mat as you did in the side body rolling. Hug knees to chest, lift the chin towards the knees, and then stretch hands and feet apart in a big X, and we'll repeat that again. Drag heels, plant hands towards heels, slowly lift the hips, feeling the pathway of your bridge pose, and then slowly release one vertebra down at a time. Hug the knees in, and repeat that 2 more times on your own, as slow as you need to really be able to feel each moment. Nice control, everybody. Beautiful. We'll all meet in that big X. Give yourself a hug with the right arm on top. And then, just to make your brain do some extra gymnastics, cross the left leg over the right. Gently do a mini crunch, just lifting elbows towards knees. And then release down and switch the cross of the arms and the legs, which is surprisingly hard, so be compassionate. And then do another crunch here, really gently, not over dominating in the front of the body. One more time, each side. If you ever get jumbled, it's opposite arm and leg. So whichever arm's on top, the other leg is on top. The next time you give yourself a hug and lift, release down, stretch everything out into that big X, and then lift the right leg, cross it over the left, and reach it towards the front left corner of the room to roll yourself all the way over onto your belly. Drag your hands back. Let your head rest. As you drag your hands back, feel the shoulders waking up a little bit, and see if you can use that strength to just peek the heart forward. Keep the low back soft and release the head down. Take a few pulses like that. We'll be repeating this sequence over and over again, so let this first round be minimal effort, just letting the body wake up. Release the head down, lift the right leg. Release the right leg down, lift the left leg. Release the left leg down, and now lift the head. Now we'll do that sequence a couple of times. So head down, right leg lifts, then left leg, and then the head. Last one, minimal effort, really reaching the feet back rather than worrying about lifting very high. Next time you lift the body up, press into the hands so you feel the upper body activate. Reach the right leg up, cross it over the left leg, and stretch it toward the front right corner of your room, coming up to a wide-legged Paschimottanasana. You'll remember that transition from last week, if you were here. Otherwise, you won't remember it, and that's okay. Bend the knees and let the body release forward, and then kick into the heels to gently stack the spine. Take a few waves here, and remember, we're just warming up, so you might not fold forward very much, and that's okay. Just try to feel the pathway of your forward fold. Let the hands glide forward and back, not forcing them to be in any particular place. The next time you roll up, bend the knees generously, planting the feet wide. And I'm going to demo this quickly before you do it. So keep the feet where they are. You'll plant the right hand behind you. And as you slowly twist to the opposite edge of the mat, the knees will actually cross. Right? So you'll end up, here I'll scooch forward. You'll end up with your knees crossed like this in a little tabletop position. So right leg will be in the front whenever you feel ready to attempt that. Knees bend, Press into the right hand and the feet. Slowly pivot on the feet, letting the knees cross. And then plant the hands underneath the shoulders and wag your tail from side to side. So here's our first pose, where we have a sense of maybe feeling a little constricted with the legs crossed, right? That you might notice tightness somewhere or just a lack of mobility. See if you can soften internally and wiggle around in a different way. So instead of feeling tight, you feel inspired to notice something new. You can make circles with the hips, you can wag your tail, allow the spine to snake. And then come to neutral. Bend the elbows a little bit, make sure the shoulders are dripping away from the ears, and step the left leg back and then the right leg. Pause for just a moment in plank, take a breath. And then drop both knees, tabletop, reach just the right leg back and the left fingertips forward. Slowly hug elbow to knee. And then extend. This time, let the knee glide off to the side and the elbow off to the side, so you're moving a little wider. And then leg back, standard balancing table. We'll take a crunch, and then we'll stretch out and we'll widen everything out to activate some new muscles. Take one more time in each variation. And then plant the left hand down, plant the right foot outside of the hands, and let the hips soften for a moment. You can broaden the space between the back knee and front foot just so the hips have somewhere to sink. And then push down into the knee and foot and move in slow motion. As you push down, notice a sense of strength in the legs. Let the pelvis organize, let the vertebrae start to stack. And then very slowly let the arms start to lift, just like that laying down position we were in so many times. And just notice any sense of lubrication in the shoulders. Take a breath. And then release everything down and let the hips soften towards the mat. You can always walk the front foot forward a little bit more if you need more space. And then let's repeat that. So push down into the legs. Move super slow so you can feel that chain reaction. Legs, pelvis, spine, arms, head and neck lift last. And then reverse it so you're melting down towards the floor just as softly as you came up. Let the hips soften. Last round, push down. Let everything stack. Enjoy the journey up, right? It's not about this end destination. It's about every moment. And then release the hands down. Walk the foot in between the hands and shift the weight into the front foot. Let the back foot hover. Could be a few inches or a few feet. Hug inner thighs together. Squeeze the legs and then power into the right foot, letting the left leg unfurl. Take a couple of presses like this. Will help prepare us for some of our standing poses in the next round. And the next time the left leg shoots out, let the toes come back down. Power into the hands to lift the front foot. Drop the right knee towards the right wrist and keep the right heel under the body. So it's like not a pigeon. It's like you're balancing on a balance beam with that right shin. Drop the back knee and just gently wag your tail. Right? Finding a little space in the right hip. As you wag the tail, you might notice the spine swaying slightly. Let that happen if it feels good. And then gently rock the weight into the right hip and swing the left leg around. Shift the hips towards the center of the mat so you're in an easy seated pose with the left leg in front, facing the other direction, and just take a few deep breaths. Then gently start to circle the spine. And as the spine circles, notice the weight shifting across the pelvis, across the sit bones. Go the opposite direction. There's no need to reach for a stretch sensation. Instead, just allow the body to naturally move to where it wants to be in this first round. And then maybe you'll notice things change after the second round, after the third round. Come to center and push down into the legs to slowly lift the spine, lift the arms, let the whole body unfurl, meeting up in that X shape we've found so many times already. And so that's the end of our first side. We'll repeat the second side. We'll do that exact same sequence again on the second side. So just take a couple breaths at this home base moment. Give yourself permission to soften the elbows, finding spaciousness in the neck and shoulders. And then drag heels back, reach hands towards heels, gently start to lift the hips. And the second side will go a little faster through some of the symmetrical things. So now hug the knees in, lift chin to knees, squeeze gently, and then reach everything out. Give yourself a hug with the left arm on top this time, and then cross the right leg over the left. For this first round, keep the calves uncrossed just to be gentle on the hips. Slowly start to lift elbows towards the knees and then release. And switch the cross and move in slow motion. It'll make it easier. So now right arm on top, left leg on top. Just gentle squeeze, release, and we'll do one more on each side. And then stretch everything out in a big X. Lift the left leg, cross it over the right, and stretch the left leg towards that front right corner of your room, slowly rolling onto the belly. Drag the hands back. Let that peak the heart forward, gaze down, no tension in the back of the neck. And release. Lift the right leg, lift the left leg, and then lift the body. Body down, right leg up. Right leg down, left leg up, left leg down, body up. Just one more round for each limb. And we'll just pretend the head is a limb. And the next time the head lifts, push into the hands. Let the left leg lift and drag it over the body. So now you're sitting upright, Paschimottanasana, facing that same edge of the mat you were just facing. Yes, way to go. You guys made it. Bend the knees, allow the spine to release forward any amount, and then kick into the heels. Take a few slow motion rounds, noticing how when the knees bend, it's easier to release forward. And then kick into the heels, let that extend the legs, and then stack the spine effortlessly. Let your body work for you instead of working against your body. The next time you roll up, step the feet to the edges of the mat, nice and wide, knees bend, left hand behind you. Press into the feet in the left hand and slowly point the knees towards the left. Let the knees drop. Let the hips lift so you're in table, but the legs are crossed. Okay. Guys, look great. You got it. Okay, so start to wiggle the hips a little bit. You've got options. You can circle the hips. You can sway them from side to side. Just give yourself permission to explore sensation in the outer legs, sensation in the low back. Anything is fair game as long as there's no pain, as long as it doesn't feel intense or like you're pushing it. Rather, we want to allow the body to open. We want to allow the body to figure out how to support us. Step the right leg back, step the left leg back, pause and plank. Watch one breath cycle. And then drop the knees, reach the right hand forward and the left foot back. Hug elbow to knee, table crunch. Reach them apart And then slide elbow wide and knee wide. It's harder. And then reach them apart. One more crunch. Reach apart. One more open. Reach apart. And then plant the right hand down and step the left foot outside of the hands. Let the hips soften. Let the back knee to walk out if you need to. And then slow motion, push down to slowly allow everything to build into Anjaneyasana. So if it was just manifesting before your eyes and you didn't have to make it happen. And then reverse that. So you're just gently melting down to the floor. And then let the hips soften. Push into front foot and back knee. Notice how the hips naturally shift back to stabilize as you press down into the feet. Take one more on your own. And bring your awareness to the sensation in the front knee. If it feels like there's too much pressure or there's not enough support, try walking the foot forward a little bit more. The next time you release the hands down, walk the left foot in between the hands, lift the back knee, shift the weight forward, and then gently press down into the left foot so that you can lift the right leg. Hug inner thighs together, just a little leg press. Lengthen the left leg, let the right leg unfurl any amount, and then hug inner thighs together. So just take a few presses like this to basically turn on every muscle in that left leg. Probably didn't have to tell you that was happening. And then allow that right leg to send right back. Plant the hands, hover the left leg, left knee to wrist, left heel underneath you. So baby pigeon, barely an angle in that front knee. Press the hips gently back, drop the back knee, and just wag your hips from side to side. Check in with your wrists and your shoulders. Bend your elbows a little bit and just make sure there's no tension building in the upper body. Can become so focused on the low body here. And the next time the hips shift to the left, bring all the weight into that left hip. Let the right leg swing forward. And then just pause in an easy seat with the right leg forward. Observe your next few breaths. You guys did it. You completed a full round, which is very exciting. It means the next round is new. We're going to have some new things to play with. If you're following along with the music, you can go to the next track, which is Waves of Reflection. Feel free to grab a sip of water before we continue. Okay, so give yourself a hug with the right arm on top, just like you did on your back. And then bring the backs of your hands together. If that's comfortable, you can play with allowing the hands to wrap for garudasana arms, but don't force it. Sometimes back of hands together is more comfortable. And then allow the elbows to snuggle into the body and make sure the arms and shoulders feel secure. Gently start to circle the spine and try to keep the arms where they are, so you're not forcing a stretch in the upper shoulders, but rather you're really exploring the spine and the hips here. Just allowing the upper shoulders to naturally open without exaggerating any of that. Go the opposite direction. And so here's another position where we might feel slightly bound. See if you can breathe and find an internal sense of spaciousness so that you're safe here. And instead of feeling tight, you feel open. Is that possible? And then release forward, so your fingers are pointed forward. Push down into the shins to slowly stack the spine. Now as the head and neck come up, let the arms start to reach up, that big X, and just notice a sense of expanding beyond the confines of where you were. big, expansive posture. Slowly extend the legs, recline into that big X. Glide heels forward, reach fingertips towards heels, lift the hips into bridge. Release one vertebra at a time. Hug the knees to the chest, lift the head. And we'll mimic what we were just doing. So eagle arms with the right arm on top. Cross left leg over right. Option this time to tuck the left toes under the right calf as long as that doesn't feel intense. If it does, just keep the legs free and just cross the thighs. Hug elbows to knee. And then here's our brain exercise. Switch the cross of the legs and the arms. Be patient. The less you can think, the easier it is. Go figure. And then take an eagle crunch on the other side. And do one more on each side, being patient and moving in slow motion. Feeling the fibers of your body weaving together to strengthen and support you. And then reach everything out to a big X. Glide the right leg over the left. Point the right toes, slowly rolling onto the belly. Drag the hands back, allowing yourself a higher cobra if it's comfortable. Release the body down. Lift the left leg. Release the left leg down. Lift the right leg. Release the right leg down. Lift the torso. And then lift the left leg, keeping the torso lifted. Bend the left knee and reach back for the outside of the left ankle. Ever so gently kick the ankle into the hand for half bow pose. Try to keep the low back nice and relaxed and allow yourself to sway here. Allow yourself to wiggle around. Again, instead of feeling any tightness or compression, try to find some space. And then release the hand and the foot. Release the body down. And then drag the hands back to lift the heart once again. Push into the hands. Reach the right leg towards the right corner of the mat. Slowly lifting up to that wide-legged Paschimottanasana. Nice. Bend the knees. Release forward. This time we can use our hands to just add a little extra weight into the core. So as the knees bend, let the heart and arms reach forward and up. And as you kick into the heels, let the legs extend slowly, stacking spine and arms up. Take one more. And then bend the knees, place the soles of the feet to the earth, right hand behind you. Push into the feet and the back hand to slowly turn to the opposite edge of the mat with the knees crossed. Instead of dropping the knees this time, walk the feet together. Legs are still crossed and press into the hands for a cross-legged down dog. Keep the knees as deeply bent as you need to and wag the tail a couple of times. And we'll play with a really fun exercise that I called moon dogs. So lift the left leg high and then hug the left knee into the chest. Cross left leg in front of right. Lift right leg high. Hug right knee into chest. Cross right leg in front of left. And take a couple more of these. We'll all meet with the right leg in the back. Pause for a moment. Bend the knees. Wag the tail. Again, find spaciousness in this posture that could feel limiting. And then lift the right leg high. Step the right foot outside of the hands. Drop the back knee. And slowly push down to rise up into that Anjaneyasana that we practiced before. And now we'll add on to the sequence. So release the spine down, plant the hands, tuck back toes, lift back knee, and step the back foot forward just enough that you can plant the heel for Virabhadrasana 1. Widen the feet to right and left like you're on railroad tracks. Press down into the feet to slowly rise up just like you did in Anjaneyasana. So feet and then hips and then spine and then arms. Bend the front knee. Virabhadrasana 1. And then soften the knees and soften the elbows. Almost like you were slightly being deflated, but in a good way, like just less effort. And as everything softens, gently twist to the right. Shift the weight into the right foot, and then power into the right foot to lift the left leg. Slowly start to twist to the left for a twisted tree. Nice. Find a drishti. Take a couple of breaths here and wiggle around. Make sure nothing's tightening up. Nice. And then for this first round, we'll step back to Virabhadrasana 1. So reach the hands forward, step the left foot back, push down into the feet to slowly rise into that same Virabhadrasana 1. Aside. In the next round, we'll have an option for a more challenging transition. And if that doesn't seem kind to your body, take this transition instead, where you just step back to Virabhadrasana 1. Melt the body down over the front leg, and then push into the foot to slowly lift one more time. Soften the knees, soften the elbows, deflated twist to the right. And then shift the weight into the right foot. Power into the right foot as you hug the left foot forward. Twisted tree. Gently twist towards the computer. Okay, so now here's your option. You can step back to Virabhadrasana 1, just like we did before. Or you can step the left leg all the way back and let the whole body deflate into a low lunge. Nice. Yeah, we did this transition last week, so you might be familiar with it. So if you're in Vira 1, you'll just take a couple of pulses to lift up. If you're in low Anjaneyasana, you'll press into the feet to slowly lift up, just like we did before. And then you'll release forward, step the back foot forward to Virabhadrasana 1 feet, and then push down to slowly rise up. Deflated twist to the right. Shift the weight, twisted tree to the left. Last one, your option, step back to Virabhadrasana 1 or step back to that deflated Anjaneyasana. And I lied, I'm sorry, we're going to do that one more time. So we'll take a moment to slowly lift up, either in Vira 1 or Anjaneya, it's up to you. And then release back down. Step the back foot forward to Virabhadrasana 1 if you're not already there, and we'll all lift up one more time. Deflated twist to the left. Let the back heel lift. Let the toes twist so there's just no effort or strain here. Shift the weight into the front foot and twist the other way for twisted tree. This time, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, hands down. Soften the right knee, and as you reach the hips back, sweep the arms forward for figure 4 chair. Again, this can feel sort of like a tight, confined pose. See if you can wiggle around a little bit. Come out of it slightly. Use your arms, use your hips to find an inner sense of spaciousness. And then lift the left knee and soften all the way down to that deflated Anjaneyasana. Lift the front knee, right knee to wrist, and press the hips back. Second round of pigeon pose on the right leg. This time we'll add in a twist, so reach the right fingertips forward and then up and back. Make a few circles like this, just bringing a little more openness into the outside of that right hip and the low back. And just make sure the hip socket feels happy. Sometimes if it's too much, you can squeeze the inner thighs together and come a little higher up. Feel free to pause anywhere that feels constructive. Nice smooth movements, everybody. Christy, twist towards the right leg. Yeah, so you're going into a deeper twist. And then release the right hand down, almost like a push-up position. Shift the weight onto the right hip and slowly circle the left leg forward. Make any adjustments so you can sit comfortably in Sukhasana with the left leg forward. And now, no surprises. We'll do that exact same thing on the left side. But before we do that, just take a couple centering breaths. Let all that information settle. Give yourself a big hug with the left arm on top. And then bring forearms back to back. Option to touch palms or touch back of hands. And gently start to circle through the spine. And remember, for this first round of our eagle arms on the left side, we're really allowing the arms to just be as they are. Focusing on letting the back of the heart open, the scapula open, can go the opposite direction. And then we'll bring a little movement into the arms and shoulders on the next round, so we don't have to rush there. As you draw these big circles with your spine, notice any sense of massage through the hips, the glutes. And then release forward. Push down into the legs to slowly stack spine. Let the arms start to lift, and then let the arms open. And just notice any sense of expanse. And breathe into that. And then keep arms lifted. Extend the legs and just recline. Big X. Another home base. Take a few breaths here, just letting yourself be. Drag heels back, reach hands forward, bridge pose, slow motion up, slow motion down. Give yourself a big hug. Reach everything out. And then eagle arms, left arm on top, right leg on top. Squeeze elbows and knees together. And then slow motion, switch both arms and legs. Take another crunch. One more time, each cross. And then stretch everything out to a big X. Cross left leg over right and stretch the left leg away from you so it can gently pull you over the right side all the way onto the belly. Drag the hands back. Let the heart lift. Keep the heart lifted. Lift the right leg. Lift the left leg. Set the heart down. Drag hands back. Let the spine lengthen forward. Lift the right leg. Bend the right knee, reach back for the right ankle, and then just gently kick the foot into the hand. If the ankle's not accessible, it's okay to just keep reaching. And then just gently allow yourself to sway from side to side. Check in with the low back. Make sure nothing feels tweaky here. If it does, release the ankle or try to point the knee straight back instead of off to the side. And then release the hand and foot. Both hands underneath the shoulders, release the body down. And then drag the hands back, peek the heart forward, lift the left leg, cross the left leg over the right, and let it stretch and pull you to wide-legged Paschimottanasana, facing the other way. Nice. Bend the knees, lift the hands, melt forward, kick into the heels, slowly extending through the back of the body. And just take a few waves here. And the next time you lift, slide the soles of the feet to the wide edges of the mat. Left hand behind you. Push down into back hand and feet to pivot into cross-legged dog. Walk the feet together. And give your tail a little wag. Let the weight shift and the hands. Bend the elbows a little bit. Nice. And we'll take our moon dog. So right leg up, right knee into chest, and then cross it in front of the left. Let the spine extend, and then repeat on the second side. See if you can cultivate a sense of smoothness. So it's almost like this perpetual motion of the legs cycling forward. Next time right leg crosses in front, pause there. Lift the left leg high. And then step the left foot outside of the hands, drop the back knee. Push down, slow motion, Anjaneyasana. Feel the pathway up, and then feel the pathway down. Press into hands in front of the foot, adjust the back foot, toes forward, heel down. Push down into the feet, slow motion, Virabhadrasana 1. And then deflated twist to the left, letting everything just soften. Let the back heel lift. Shift the weight into the left foot, power into the left leg, slowly untwist to the right as you lift the right knee, twisted tree. And then square forward, step the right foot back, Virabhadrasana 1, sweep the arms up. So this will be your option, or in the next round you are able to take the deflated Anjaneyasana. So we'll all melt down, press down into the feet to rise up one more time. deflated twist to the left, shift the weight, twisted tree. And then either step back to Virabhadrasana 1 or let the front knee soften, shift the right foot back and melt down to deflated Anjaneyasana, drop the back knee. Vira 1 or Anjaneya, press down to rise up. Everybody release forward. Adjust the back foot if you're not yet in Virabhadrasana 1. Push down to rise up wherever you are. Deflated twist, shift the weight, twisted tree. And then take your transition. You know the drill now. Wherever you are, slow motion rise up. Slow motion melt down. Adjust the back foot. Slow motion rise up. Deflated twist to the left. This is our last round. Shift the weight, twisted tree. This time we'll add in our figure 4 chair. So right leg over thigh, hands release down, and just gently start to reach the hips back and sweep the arms forward. Wag the tail from side to side. Check in with the right knee. Adjust the angle of the hip. Do whatever you need to do to release tension here, and that might mean coming out of it. That's okay. And then extend the bottom leg, lift the right knee, and step the right foot back, melting down to low Anjaneyasana. Lift the back knee, lift the front leg, left knee to wrist. Swivel the shin just a few degrees, so a lot smaller pigeon than you might be used to. Press hips back, back knee down. Walk the hands in and lengthen the spine forward. Wag your tail from side to side. You can stay right here, especially if it feels tight, or add in the twist by reaching left fingertips forward and then up and back. So you're twisting into the tightness. You're twisting into the bent knee. And breathe and try to find a sense of opening through the outer hip, opening through the spine. Feel free to pause at any moment. And whenever you're ready, release both hands square on the mat, almost like plank. Gently shift the weight to the left, swing the right leg around, and pause in Sukhasana. Right leg in front. Take a few deep breaths. Now is a great time to grab a sip of water. How's everybody doing? Thumbs up towards the camera? Yes, okay. This is great. I can only see thumbs up. So that's nice. I guess I didn't give an option for a thumbs down, so that works. So this is our last round. So you're welcome to go to the next song, Departure. And we'll seek smoothness in our movements, and we'll have some options for extra challenges. Though honor yourself. You can stick to anything we've already done if it feels more friendly and fun. And we'll start with giving ourselves a big hug. What a nice way to start, huh? Try to actually feel what it means to give yourself a hug. And breathe into that. Backs of hands together, option for palms together. Start by circling the spine, and then if it's okay with the shoulders, you can allow the elbows to start to follow. Just exaggerating the movement a little bit, taking the shoulders for a little larger range of motion. Just make sure you're not building tension. Bring your awareness to the back of the heart, and the back of the neck. Go the opposite direction. See if you can use this added freedom of movement to find more spaciousness rather than to yank and find more tension. And then release forward. Press down into the legs, stack the spine, allow the head and elbows to come up, and then split the arms. And just let your body open. Slowly extend legs, recline, and just pause. Try to breathe into any sense of openness and inner freedom. Drag heels, reach hands towards heels, slowly lift, bridge. Slowly release, and give yourself a hug. Right arm over left, left leg over right, eagle crunch. We'll just do one on either side, so slow motion, switch the twist, take another crunch, and then extend the body open to an X, right leg over left. Reach through the right leg to slowly roll over the left side. Drag the hands back, cobra pose. This time, lift the left leg, bend the left knee, grab the left ankle. You can stay here, or if it feels safe and fun, release the left shoulder down to the mat, push into the right hand to slowly roll onto the left side of the body. So you're in a half bow, but you're getting quite a shoulder opener here, and try to keep moving. Make sure this feels safe in the left shoulder. It's not going to be for everyone, so you can just stay in upright bow. If it feels awesome and you want a little bit more, feel free to bend the top knee, reach for the top ankle, and take full side bow. Just keep moving so nothing locks up or gets tight here. And then to roll out of it, release the top bind if you've done that. Place the right hand in front of you and push down into the left shoulder to slowly massage your way back onto your belly. Release the left foot, press into the hands, reach right leg back into the right to pull you up into Paschimottanasana, and take a slow wave here. And just one more for good luck. And then glide the feet in, plant the feet, right hand behind you, slow motion, turn to twisted down dog, walk the feet together, and take a few moon dogs, moving as slowly as you'd like. We'll all meet with the right leg in the back. Lift the right leg high. Step the right foot outside the hands. Drop the back knee. Press down to slowly rise up, Anjaneyasana. So it'll be the same sequence. We'll just add on at the end. So same, but different. Lift back knee, slide back foot in, push down, Virabhadrasana 1. Soften everything, deflated twist to the right. Shift the weight into the right leg, power into the right leg, twisted tree. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh, sweep the arms forward and sit back, figure 4 chair. If you'd like to take it a little further, I'll turn so you can see me better. Allow the thighs to cross. The foot can dangle or tuck behind the calf. Right leg on right arm on top. Hands touch or palms. And then again, here we are in quite a bound moment. Can you wiggle around? Can you find a little freedom or spaciousness? Can you definitely find a drishti, because this is a really hard pose. Garudasana. From here, uncross the leg, start to lean forward and let the left leg unfurl, tipping forward into Virabhadrasana 3 with eagle arms. And then bend the front knee so there's a sense of buoyancy in the hips. Take a couple of bounces, and then let the left toes find the mat. Slowly lower the left knee. Feel free to adjust the right foot until the pelvis feels supported for Anjaneyasana. Push down into the feet, slowly allowing the front of the body to open. Anjaneyasana with eagle arms. Let the hands lift any amount. Just make sure it's kind on the shoulder sockets. And then wiggle around a little bit. Let the hips sway. Let the elbows sway. Try to keep opening through the front of the body without it feeling like you're only moving in one direction. And then release the arms. Let the whole body open and just notice any sense of getting bigger. Melt down. Let the hands release. Let the hips release. We have the option to repeat that sequence one more time. If you're like, whoa, that was a lot and I don't want to do it again, feel free to pick just a couple of those poses and stick to just those. I'll guide the whole thing though. Press down into the feet, rise up. Anjane, release the hands. Slide back foot in, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Deflate to the right, shift the weight, twisted tree. Figure 4 chair, and then cross left leg over right. Option to tuck foot behind, right arm over left. And then find some wiggles here, find a drishti. To come deeper, option to bend the knees a little bit, really reaching the hips back as long as you're not building tension. Actually bend and extend the leg like your little spring. I feel like Tigger here, and we all know how happy Tigger is. And then let the left knee lift. Allow the body to tip forward and reach hands and foot apart. Bend the right knee. Keep bouncing in that leg. It's a challenging pose, but can you find a sense of freedom and ease? Let the left toes drop. Let the left knee slowly lower. Adjust the right foot so the pelvis feels supported, and then push down to rise up. Anjaneyasana. Whenever you want that icing on the cake moment, allow the hands to open and then release the body down. Extend the left leg, lift the right knee to shin, swivel the shin just a little bit, press the hips back, release the knee and the foot. We'll take our circles with the right arm, circling, reaching forward, up and back. If you want to take it a little deeper this time, option to bend the left knee, not necessarily reaching for the ankle, but maybe the fingers graze the ankle, not the goal. And just notice a sense of lengthening through the low back. Sometimes we can overdo it and can get quite tight and compressed. If you notice the foot's right there, you can give yourself that permission for a breath. And then we'll all release, shift the weight into the right hip, slowly drag the left leg forward, and just pause and breathe and take stock, because we did work up to quite a deep sequence. Notice the sensations in both sides of the body. Try to just observe the breath. Give yourself a hug, left arm on top. Stay here as long as it's beneficial to you. And then find your version of eagle arms. Gentle circles with the body, allowing the elbows to follow. And so maybe the elbows draw a big circle as your spine draws a big circle. Pay attention to the front of the shoulders here, the shoulder socket, the back of the shoulders. Letting this help you find space. Go the opposite direction. And then melt down through center. Push down into the legs, slowly rising up. Allow the arms to open, letting the whole body expand. And then extend the legs, recline. And just allow your body to breathe naturally and fully. Drag the heels, hands towards heels, hips lift, let the front of the body open, and then release with control. Draw everything in, and then let everything reach out. Eagle arms, left arm on top, right leg, one crunch. And then swap. Notice if you've gotten any better at the swapping. It's okay if you haven't. You can try it again on your own. Reach everything out. Left leg over right. Slowly let it drag you over the right side of the body onto the belly. Drag the hands back. Peek the heart forward. Bend left knee. Reach back for the left ankle. gently kick into the left foot. You can stay here, or you can choose to roll onto the right side of the body. I might have said I don't know if I said the correct foot. So it should be the one closest to the mat. You should be holding the right foot as you roll. Option to add in the left side of the body if that feels accessible and useful, but keep moving. Think of this as a subtle massage for the front of that right shoulder. So you're exploring the pressure on the tricep and the front of the shoulder and the bicep. And then to roll back, release the top limbs and slowly return to the belly. Release the leg, hands underneath shoulders. Drag the hands back to lift the heart a little bit more. And then let the left leg cross the body, push into the hands, untwisting to Paschimottanasana. Bend the knees, release forward, and just take one more wave here. And then plant the feet to the edges of the mat. Left hand behind you. Let the knees point to the left. And then slowly turn on the mat, cross-legged down dog. Walk the feet together. Stay here or take a few moon dogs. Either way, we'll all meet with the left leg in the back. Slowly lift the left leg, high push into the hands, getting a sense of lengthening from fingertips to toes. And then step left foot outside of the hands. Drop the right knee, push down to slowly rise up, Anjaneyasana, and then melt down. Slide the back foot forward, push down to slowly rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. And then soften all your limbs, deflated twist to the left. Shift the weight, twisted tree to the right. Cross right ankle over left thigh, hands down, figure 4 chair. And then option to keep crossing the right leg further, left arm over right, find your drishti, and then make sure you keep moving. Pay attention to your hip sockets here, and if you feel any tension or tightness, uncross the foot from behind the calf. You don't need to do that. Slowly start to lift the right knee and shift it back. Let yourself tip forward, bend the left knee. Virabhadrasana 3. And then right toes touch down. Gently release the right knee. Press down into the legs to lengthen the front of the body. Make sure there's no tension in the low back. And then from the top of your back bend, allow the hips to sway a little bit. Allow the arms to sway. And then allow the arms to split open to a big Y. Release the hands down, let the hips soften. We'll go through that one more time. And remember, you have the option to pause in any of those poses. Less can be more, so give yourself that freedom. Push down into the legs, slow motion Anjaney, and release. Slide the back foot forward, slow motion Virabhadrasana 1. Deflated twist to the left. Shift the weight, find your drishti, twisted tree. Right ankle to thigh, hands down, figure 4 chair. And then option for eagle, cross the legs. Keep staring at your drishti. Left arm over right. And then bend and extend the bottom knee a couple of times so you have that sense of springiness. Breathe nice and smoothly. And then lift the right leg, shift the body forward as the right leg unfurls. Keep springing that left leg subtly. And then let the right toes touch down. Let the right knee slowly lower. Walk the left foot forward and to the left slightly. And then push down, letting the whole front of the body open. Whenever you want that moment of freedom, let the arms open. And then release the body down. Lift back knee, left knee to wrist. Swivel the shin slightly, press the hips back, back knee down. Walk the hands in. Reach left fingertips forward and then up and back. Check in with the shoulder, check in with the low back. Make sure the circling of the arm is helping you explore the hip and not creating tension. Option to bend the back knee. If you effortlessly find the toes or ankle, you're welcome to hold it, but it's not the goal. And then we'll all release. Hands towards the front of the mat, shift the weight into the left hip, circle the right leg forward, and pause in your easy seated pose. Take a couple of grounding breaths, just noticing any sense of balance or spaciousness in the body. And we'll have a couple of cooling movements and then meditation and then shavasana. If you'd like to go to the next track, waves of reflection, just have something a little more chill as we cool down. Bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Place the hands behind you. Let the spine lengthen and just bounce the knees a couple of times. And then step the feet nice and wide and ever so gently windshield wiper the legs and really try to move in slow motion because we did a lot in the hips and the knees. Just make sure they still feel supported. As the knees windshield wiper, notice any sense of connecting up into the outside of the hips, even the low back. Maybe even all the way up to the shoulders and the neck. Extend the legs forward, reach the arms overhead, reclining. And again, just pause in this X shape we've found so many times in class and notice if there's anything new here after all of that movement. And just let yourself sink into stillness. Notice the sense of the earth supporting you and you not having to do anything. Is there anything holding that you can release? And keeping the same sense of being supported and moving effortlessly, let's add in a little bit of movement. Gently drag the heels back, plant the hands towards the heels, and push down to slowly lift the hips. This time, you can walk the shoulder blades together. You can interlace the hands, drag knuckles towards the heels, letting the front of the body open. Allow the hips to sway, so you're not jamming into the low back, but there's still a sense of ease. You can even circle the hips almost like a double Dutch jump rope here. If you're doing that, just go in both directions. And then slowly release the spine down. Place the hands on top of the knees, but no need to lift the body here. Just gently draw the knees into the chest. You can grab it behind the backs of the thighs or the big toes, whatever is most comfortable for you. And gently press into the hands. So there's a sense of the legs activating, but not with too much effort. Almost as if you're trying to uproot the thigh bone out of the hip socket, right? Just getting a little space in the hip socket. Wherever you are, you can gently rock from side to side. And then extend right leg and right arm. Release the left foot and let the left knee start to cross the body, but don't aim for the floor. And just windshield the left knee from side to side. It's okay to let the left hip lift. And just notice how the movement of the knee tick-tocking from side to side can take your hip with you. It can twist your spine, shift the weight, and just let that momentum naturally take you from side to side as you watch it all happen. The next time the knee comes over to the right, if you would like to twist a little further, bend the right knee so you've got some support, and then let the legs stack. The arms can come to T. Gaze to the left if that feels good. Allow the breath to be natural. And then reach out through the arms. Slowly let the knees come to neutral, and we'll go the opposite way. So left leg extends. Arms reach overhead just so we stay balanced. And then just tick-tock the right knee from side to side. And maybe it's a little and you just like that massage on the right glute, or it's a little bigger and it takes the spine into a supported twist. Whenever you've had enough of the movement, feel free to bend the left knee and allow the body to twist a little deeper to the left. Bring the arms to T, gaze right, let your body soften. Then reach out through the arms, point the knees up to center, hug the knees into the chest one last time. Option to let the head lift. And then grab behind the knees and kick the feet forward to gently guide yourself up to seated. We will finish with some meditation and then Shavasana. If you would like to fold a blanket or grab a cushion for underneath your hips, you're more than welcome to do so. You can also turn to face me now that we're not rolling all over the place. So, take your time finding stillness. Cross the legs, wiggle the hips around, allow the spine to lengthen. In meditation, we place our bodies in a fixed position. And we try not to move. Finding stillness in the physical body allows us to find stillness then in the mind. And so in a way, we are binding our physical body. And then the work of meditation is to find our inner spaciousness, this vast inner self that cannot be taken away no matter how bound we are in any situation, physically, mentally, emotionally. So as you find stillness, make that little commitment inside your heart to say, okay, I'm going to try to allow my physical form to be bound and see how much inner space I can find through this practice. Let's just try it. Start to notice the gentle rising and falling of the breath without any need to change it. As you observe your breath, notice a space, a sense of spaciousness around the breath. A larger container in which the breath is flowing. As you continue to breathe, you can repeat with each breath the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. You're all alumni, so you're familiar with this mantra. And each time we repeat it, we have the opportunity to find more space. Space beyond the physical realm, space beyond our thoughts and emotions. And so as you repeat Om Namah Shivaya with each gentle breath, imagine yourself getting a little bigger. Imagine your body has no edges. And you're as spacious as the ocean here in Kona. Every breath and every repetition of the mantra can release anything keeping you from that vast sense of self. Om Namah Shivaya. I am supreme consciousness. I bow to that supreme consciousness that I am. Sometimes even with finding spaciousness, we exert too much effort. You are already this vast spaciousness, this Shiva consciousness. And so imagine you can just let go into it. Om Namah Shivaya. You don't have to make it happen. You can just allow it to happen. You're welcome to keep enjoying this meditation from upright. You're also welcome to transition to Shavasana and allow yourself to melt into spaciousness in that resting form. Observe your breathing. Try to maintain that sense of hovering above the breath, being vaster and more spacious than the body. As you make gentle waking movements, and take your time and enjoying and witnessing your body as a whole instead of just one part at a time. Move as slowly as you need to progress up to seated in a conscious way, feeling each moment of the journey. When you arrive, you can bring hands to heart center. Let the palms ever so gently touch one another and feel the gentle pressure on the heart center. And just take a couple of last breaths to notice any sense of this inner spaciousness you've cultivated for the past hour and a half. And gently bow to that spaciousness, and letting it stay with you as you journey into the rest of your day or night. Thank you so much for sharing this practice. Namaste. So amazing to see each of you. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to stick around for a little bit if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, I hope to see you next week or sometime soon. Aloha. Yay. Just gonna turn this. Oh. How's everybody doing? Hey, Joanna, how did it go?
Amazing, thank you.
Oh, thanks for coming. I'm so glad.
I enjoyed the way you layered the pose.
I'm so glad. You look radiant, so it worked. Good job. So nice to meet you. Oh, yeah.
Is that Luke?
Yeah. He's in the other room because it just.
I see him right there.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Anytime. It's every Wednesday, so I hope to see you again sometime.
Okay, well, thank you.
Aloha. Hi, Octavia. You're back, huh, from your adventure?
We're back.
Did you have a good trip? I'm going to just stop the recording, but I want to get to say hi to you.